Man, what a week for both of us. Both of our teams got W's.
Yeah, but I think mine was a little bit more impressive.
What do you mean?
We proved that anyone can beat the Colts.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to this post-Thanksgiving episode of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the proudly Kenny Pickett wearing and terrible towel twirling Trajan. How are we doing this fine week after that awesome Monday night showing?
Doing good. I'm surprised. Look at that.
It just goes to show you don't always need the pigeons to get the job done, right?
We don't need the pigeons.
You just need the picket.
We just need the picking and the pickings.
There you go, exactly. So yes, a pretty good week for both of our teams, and I was fortunate enough to go see my team win their game live. But I'll hold off on my victory because he had to wait a little bit longer for his victory here too. So we shall start this week with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking down the Indianapolis Colts at Indy by a final score of 24-17. So Trajan, I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this one. So the floor is yours now.
So I was really looking forward to this game. Last few seasons, we've kind of owned Indy. We are now on an 8-game win streak versus them.
Oh wow.
Plus Monday Night Football. Tomlin doesn't really lose Monday Night Football, so was looking forward to going side pockets with my buddy over there, Temple, but unfortunately I got sick.
Yeah.
So I was in a medicine-induced coma going in and out of this game here. And man, first half it kind of started out like the Bengals game. It looked like we're really clicking. Should have scored more touchdowns instead of field goals, but hey, we got points at least. Second half, we just go out into a drought. We go
That
the
third
third
quarter.
quarter,
Ooh.
14 points unanswered by us there. So Indy's in the lead, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna blow this to Matt Ryan, really? And then in the fourth quarter, we score 8 points. How did we score 8 points? We actually got converted for two.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew we had that offense in us? Who knew? So 24-17. Kenny Pickett, I mean, not a flashy game by any means. 20 for 28. No touchdowns, no interceptions, so he didn't kill us either. 174 yards. He did do some rushing, so 32 yards on the ground, so he went over 200 yards. Benny Snell was a surprise. My hat off to him. Oh my gosh. I've been very critical of him in the past. Didn't know why he had a place on the team, and he proved me wrong. He got a touchdown. He also went for 62 yards rushing, 12 carries. Why did he get 12 carries? Najee Harris got injured. He was sidelined for the rest of the game. They said it's not too serious, but he did have 10 carries for 35 yards and one touchdown as well. Pickens, he had a good game. 3 receptions, 57 yards. He had a few key drops, though. And so he can get better, but he had a major bomb, 35-yard. It really brought life into this offense there. I believe that was on the scoring one for the 8 points in the fourth quarter. So solid defensive effort. Pierre got an interception. TJ Watt, he wasn't really a factor in this game. He hasn't been up to his normal self, I would say, since the injury, but he's getting back into it. They did a really good job covering him, but overall, it wasn't a flashy win. Wasn't anything exciting. Definitely probably not what ESPN wanted for Monday Night Football. But a win's a win, baby.
I'll say there's a couple factors in there that you have not mentioned yet, and
Oh,
one of them being the fact that you had a competent backup kicker in the Dome with Matt Wright converting all 3 of his field goals. Just imagine if a certain team in red and gold that did have Matt Wright would have got him maybe a week sooner. May have potentially beaten the Colts there too. So that's just the thing I have to get off my chest. That was the most frustrating for me as a
You
Chiefs
have
fan.
an offense that puts us to shame right now. No excuses for you. No excuses.
Let's also not forget that the Colts, with those 14 points in the third quarter, almost added on to that. Yeah. And if it wasn't for the slippery fingers of Matt Ryan, the handoff to Jonathan Taylor, we may have been doing another edition of I Don't Want to Talk About It. I'm just saying.
It could have been overtime.
It could have been overtime, yes.
But yeah, no. That didn't
to be fair, do you trust Kenny Pickett in overtime?
Not yet.
Thank you for your honesty.
I'm getting there. I see flashes in him. But I think the offensive line needs to get better. They have gotten better, but I think he needs a little bit more time in the pocket to get a little more comfortable. And he needs to see the field a little better. There's some plays left on there. But yeah, no, I not quite yet. I trust him more than Matt Ryan, though.
Oh, okay. Hey, that I would see that too. Now the question is, do you trust Kenny Pickett to save Mike Tomlin's streak of winning seasons? Because there are 6 games left, right?
Yeah.
All they got to do is win 5 of them.
All we got to do is win 5 of them.
There's still a chance, and Pickett will be a hero in Pittsburgh if he can somehow salvage the winning season streak for Mike Tomlin. I think we both could agree on that.
He would be a hero. It would definitely have a lot to build on if we could have a 9-7 season. If we went through the season after how it started and we set at 9-7 at the end, yeah,
or 9-8, 9-8, or 10-7. Hey, win out, baby. Why not?
So I don't know. I think we can not count on that. But yeah, no, I'd be excited for it to happen.
Oh, absolutely. That'd give you a lot to look forward to, especially for the next season too. But all right, well, that was the Steelers game. Now moving on to the game that I was fortunate enough to go see live. It was a good time. Drinks were had. But let's hear it, Kingdom. How about those Chiefs? 26-10 against the Rams backups, but hey, you know what? They don't ask how, they ask how many. For what it's worth, and the Chiefs didn't really have to do a whole lot of flashiness. They just had to go out and just play solidly for the most part. I mean, credit to Bryce Perkins. He did what he could with what he had, and shout out to Sean McVay. I really hope his jaw gets to feeling better soon. That was a wicked hit on the sideline by his own player. If that was a microcosm of what the Rams are going through right now, that event would specifically describe it. Pat Mahomes, a decent day, not his best, definitely not even close to his worst. 27-42, 1 touchdown, 1 INT, and man, the INT, that was.
Points left on the board.
It was followed. That play followed what almost was the greatest trick play I had ever seen live at Arrowhead. It was that close. You got a jet sweep to Sky Moore. He stops, throws backward to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes gets the ball, gets in the stance. He throws it at the goal line to my man, Travis Kelce, the soon-to-be greatest tight end in NFL history. Man, the records he's shattering every week. He's going to be getting damn close to there. But Jalen Ramsey, hats off to him. A well-spotted play, breaks it up at the goal line, which leads to the interception in the end zone on the very next play by Mahomes, which, shout out to L'Jarius Sneed for getting the ball back and squashing any momentum that the Rams had following that. Because at that point, it was still a 2-possession game. I think it was only a 10-point game at that point. So you go down, you get a touchdown, or you get a field goal, you're right back in it. But the defense did their job and held strong. Isaiah Pacheco got some good touches today, 69 yards out of 22 attempts, including a touchdown.
Nice.
Ronald Jones got his first opportunity in a Chiefs jersey, and he made some key carries for us. But definitely our top player this week was once again Travis Kelce, including a 39-yard touchdown. That if you just look at the play, you see the moment where he catches the ball. There are 3 Rams players surrounding him.
Yep.
I mean, at that point, you'd be happy for a first down from where he caught it. But
Yeah.
that's what I love about Kelce. He's never satisfied. If you give him an inch, he will take a mile. He will go the extra distance. And he drug 2 Rams on his back into the end zone. That also included Jalen Ramsey, so that just made it even more special. Excellent play. When he crossed the goal line, the whole stadium just exploded. It was a great moment to see live, and very, very well executed route and run after the catch by Travis Kelce. Big shout out to Harrison Butker. He was perfect today, 4 for 4 field goals, and it says his longest is 32, and normally that makes me nervous. Butker is weird. Anything over 45 yards, I'm more comfortable with when he makes those kicks for some reason. It's the short ones that for some reason I just get in my head like, oh, I don't know if I like the looks of this. But 4 for 4, perfect day for him. Tommy Townsend only sent out once in this game. So, and let's see here. We had, oh God, yeah, I have to bring this up. And thank God Andy Reid has finally seen the light and says no more, but Sky Moore. No more Sky Moore for punt returns. And here's the hilarious thing. I called it. I legit said in the stands, right when the punt team came out, it's like, oh dear God, Sky Moore's gonna fumble this, isn't he? And I spoke it into existence. Bounces right off his chest and goes right into the waiting arms of the Rams defenders. And credit to Justin Watson, who came in for us after him, and he didn't make any flashy plays. He caught the ball. That's all I want. I don't care if you catch it at the 2-yard line. Just catch the ball, please. So it sounds like Justin Watson will probably be taking those responsibilities here on out, which is good. I mentioned Snead earlier with the interception. Chris Jones with the sack. George Karlaftis with a sack, too. Big-time sack. Yeah. Holy smokes. It was like a 23-yard loss. And as far as notable offensive production, too, MVS had a decent game. Juju Smith-Schuster made a couple good catches there. Sky Moore, Andy Reid still needed to give him something to give his confidence back. So he was targeted 5 times, caught all 5 of the passes that were thrown to him. So hats off to Sky Moore. He didn't let that muff punt define the rest of his game, and he made some key catches for us too. So, yep, as we mentioned, the Rams, they were a pretty beat up team, but hey, these are the kind of games where you need to win because you're never going to hear the end of it if you lose. So great job getting the win for those boys, and now it's on to Cincinnati. So that's going to be a fun matchup. So definitely looking forward to that.
Well, I do have one question. Was it necessary to throw it 42 times to beat this Rams team? Was it really necessary?
Hey, when you're going up against Aaron Donald, you don't want to run it right into him every single time. That man will kill some people.
Sure.
No, that's the way. We don't like playing down to competition. We wanna try to play ourselves up as best we can and not leave anything on the field. And like I said, that one interception in the end zone, that was almost demoralizing, but they stepped back up into it and they kept the game just out of reach against St. Louis. Yeah, there were some fans from St. Louis actually I sat next to. They were actually some nice people, but Los Angeles rather. And like I said, they don't ask how, they just ask how many. And I definitely would rather see a game like this go in the win column than the loss column.
Well, you got that wrong there. I do ask how, but it's okay.
Alrighty. Well, now it is time, since it is week 12, time to take a look at our tier maker, and it's time to see who's going up and who's going down.
I don't want to do this.
And as you can see right here, there's going to be some changes made. I know last time we went from the top down, and I think this time it's only fitting we go from the bottom to the top here. So let's start with the Las Vegas Raiders, and they had a couple good wins in the last couple weeks. They took care of business, although it was overtime against the Broncos, and they did take care of business against the Seattle Seahawks, also in overtime. So, man, I'm on the fence about this one. It might be time to raise up the Raiders a little bit. What do you think?
Could we leave the Raiders where they are and send their running back up?
just take Josh Jacobs out of the equation and upgrade him and leave the rest of the Raiders down.
He was the whole team.
You may have a point there. He is the heart and soul of their team. So it's it's almost a coin flip, I would say.
I say they do not deserve to be on the same level as the Broncos.
Do not deserve to be on the same level as the Broncos. You know what? By that logic, I will agree. So there you go, Raider Nation. Enjoy your victory this week, and we shall see if you go back to trash by the end this year when we revisit this in week 16. Another team that I think I'm ready to have them join would be the Detroit Lions, especially how they've played the last few weeks.
They've done good. Yeah, I would say they're bleh worthy.
We say that as if it's a compliment, but I guess anything helps when you're a Detroit fan.
Better than trash. Oh, Broncos, they have to stay there.
Is there a way I can bring them lower?
Already in the landfill?
Exactly.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, really, yeah, no. There's no way they move up.
The fact that they lost to their side by side here with the Panthers, and they got absolutely annihilated by them. Yeah, the Broncos almost deserve to be in a category of their own. But as much as that victory probably felt good for the Panthers, I don't think I'm ready to upgrade them just yet. And I'd probably say the same about the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. New Orleans Saints do not have an identity on offense. They have a decent defense. Not worthy to go up.
Absolutely. Well, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars? This is interesting.
They did win versus the Ravens, but who hasn't beat the Ravens in the fourth? Gosh, I don't know. What is their record?
They're 4-7. So that would, if we upgraded them, that would put them next to the Colts.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say they're a better team than the Colts. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I would say so too. And I guess we can make the executive decision. There's no need to spend any time on the Texans, but I think the Colts, after that performance, I think they've got knocked down. Even though Jeff Saturday, he got a victory for him, but man, you got to take care of business against the Steelers at home.
Yeah, no, that was a must-win because they are still in their division.
Absolutely, it's definitely not set in stone that Tennessee is going to win, but boy, it's getting closer by the week. It seems like the way these other three teams are playing. How are we feeling about Washington? Because right now the entire NFC East has a winning record by more than one win.
I say they have to go up.
I say they have to go up too. Only makes sense. The New England Patriots, I would say, would probably have to join them then.
They do have to join them.
Really hurts.
Why are they raising up?
Alrighty. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, do we see them being upgraded? I definitely wouldn't downgrade them by any means.
I say they stay where they're at.
I say so too. But I will say someone should be joining them, and I'll just go ahead and make that executive decision. I think Cleveland needs to be knocked down a rung here.
Yeah. I would agree.
Absolutely. Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, how about
Cardinals.
oh, good.
Oh, I thought you were going with the Cardinals next.
Cardinals. I think they should probably come down too.
They should go down.
There's really no upside to them. Even with DeAndre Hopkins back, they just don't have an identity. But yes, Chicago. Yeah, I think they got to go down too.
They do. They confused me. They're 1 week. They're like, yeah, they look like they could be trending.
You think Justin
Next
Fields
week,
could be up there? But nah.
Jets have to be a playoff contender.
Really? Okay. Well, I was almost going to be comfortable leaving them the same level as the Patriots, considering that the Patriots defeated them. But hey, they may have found their guy with Mike White. So we
If
shall.
Mike White was in it, maybe they would have beat the Patriots.
You could be right actually. So yeah, we'll let the Jets have their moment in the sun in the playoff contender. But like I said, come week 16, a lot can change between now and then.
Oh yeah.
How are we feeling about Seattle? Sitting at number 2 in their division right now.
They've dropped some games recently, though, that have kind of made me question it. I almost say they stay in the meh category.
Probably so, especially after that game against the Raiders. That really could have been a big statement win for them. But in that case, if we're going by that, I think the Los Angeles Rams, and this is mostly because of injury entirely. Man, it's really hard not to put them in
0-0.
I think they go all the way down, and honestly, it's no fault of their own. But man,
have we ever had a team go all the way down?
Yeah, not this quickly, but that's because the NFC West, for the most part, was pretty competitive. But then all of a sudden, the Rams they've just fallen off these last several weeks.
Wow. How do we feel about Tampa Bay?
Well,
they're the division leaders,
which unfortunately means I have to bring them up, which means the Atlanta Falcons have to come down. I mean, that's just the way it has to be.
But gosh, I don't feel good about putting them there.
Well, that's the deal. We need a NFC South representative, and unfortunately, the way we're sitting right now, Tampa is the team, and and it's so weird because they're one game off of last place. That's Carolina, New Orleans, but they have to be representative in the playoff contender. Honestly, they belong here next to Chicago, if we're perfectly honest. But just by the fact where the division they're in, that's the only reason they're in the playoff contending status right now.
Yeah, no, it'd be hilarious if the Carolina Panthers could somehow find a way
sneak into
the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And send Tom Brady home.
Absolutely. I think I would root for the Falcons to do that, just because they were picked to be 2-15 and 0% chance of getting to the playoffs. So just for the memes, that would be hilarious. Speaking of memes, boy, the Packers sure turned into one pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh, they go down. They scored some points, I will say. That almost felt like their back was against the wall, so we're going to score some points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're spiraling out of control right now.
And now with Aaron Rodgers injured too, is it time to maybe see what Jordan Love can do these next few weeks? Only time will tell. But nope, the Packers, as crazy as it may seem, they do deserve to be on the same level as the Bears and the Lions right now with the way their season.
You can say it, and the Steelers. I get it.
Well, I'm saying in the same division.
I get you.
in their division, but yeah, I mean you're not wrong. Well, how about them Cowboys?
Oh my gosh! Why do they have to be good?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why do they have to be good? They're saying playoff contender. I'm not quite sure on Super Bowl contender, but they're definitely in playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely Philly's division to lose, but Dallas sure is keeping pace very well. Is it time to knock the Giants down a step? It's starting to look that way. I'm starting to think Washington might be about the same level as them now until the Giants prove us otherwise.
That was tough. It looked like they were going to hang in with Dallas there for a little bit, and then they just got carried away. So I don't know with them. They're probably going to be in the playoffs as a wild card team, but They make up some mess ups here, and they could drop out.
Absolutely. The only time will tell, especially considering this next team, the San Francisco 49ers. They sure have come alive these last several weeks, and I think they would be considered the favorites for the NFC West. So I'll think I'll keep them where they're at right now.
Oh, Kirk Cousins. He could almost be considered Super Bowl contender.
Ooh boy,
Almost. But
almost.
Philadelphia is still there.
Yes.
Gosh, who would have thought this? I didn't. Yeah, no, they stay where they're at.
So, the Miami Dolphins have the head-to-head over the Buffalo Bills. Is it time to make the switch between Miami and Buffalo for Super Bowl contender, or do we need more time?
We need more time because it's going to pain me who my Super Bowl contender is.
All right, well, moving on from that, we already mentioned that the Titans are pretty much a lock in there. I'm
Right.
almost, man, the Chargers. They barely escaped Arizona.
Circle.
Ah,
It's
I,
dead.
I think it's time to knock them down just a peg here. We'll see if they have a chance to bring it back. There's been a lot of interesting ways for the Chargers to win. Like I said, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And boy, the way the competition in the AFC wildcard's looking right now, the Chargers could very well find themselves on the outside looking in again. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch.
How great would it be if they miss it at the last game of the season like last year?
It could very well happen. It could very well happen again because they would be playing the Broncos this time. What if the Broncos are the reason they
The
don't go in?
Broncos? Oh my gosh, that'd be
What,
terrible.
what if Russell Wilson cooks the perfect meal this one time and the Chargers are on the outside looking in? That would be
One
just
night.
absolutely hilarious. All right, well, all right. So we're gonna. This is gonna be interesting because the Buffalo Bills have lost 3. The Kansas
have-
City Chiefs have lost 2. Could we
I-
perhaps be looking at a Kelsey Bowl for the Super Bowl?
Oh my gosh, shoot me now. Just end it. Just end it. Oh my
The
goodness.
hottest new podcast to come out of the sports world, the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelsey. Boy, what an episode that'll be if they end up facing each other in the Super Bowl. Alrighty, well,
Really?
I do.
Um, Go ahead, do it. You know you want to.
I know I do, man. This is gonna be. Oh man, I'll leave the Eagles in first. Maybe I won't feel so bad about doing this. Uh, but yes, as it stands right now, the Eagles have the best record in the NFC. The Chiefs have the best record in the AFC. The Bills almost blew that game on Thanksgiving to the Detroit Lions. Granted, it was at Detroit.
It's at Detroit, and it's a feisty Detroit
It was a
team.
very feisty Detroit game. There are also a lot of questions about the defense for Buffalo. Are they as elite as what they've always been thought out to be? Also, got to count into effect Josh Allen's arm. There's
Yeah,
there's
I
there's
think
some
that's
there's
fair
some
to go.
factors there right now. We may come back here in week 16 and I might switch them back. There might be some heartbreaking losses the Chiefs suffer, or there might
Oh.
be some more heartbreaking losses for the Bills. We shall definitely see. And the Bills are definitely in a dogfight for the AFC East right now. It's amazing how tightly knit these 4 teams are. We could very
Yeah.
well see a situation where the Patriots swoop in and take back the AFC East. That's
Oh,
how
God.
close this is right now.
Yeah, no. Hopefully the Bills take care of business this week and just get it done.
They very well could. All right. Well, now it's 2 of your favorite teams, and we'll talk about both of them because they share the exact same record. Right now, it's the Ravens that hold the advantage with a perfect 2-0 divisional record, whereas Cincinnati have shown to have struggled in their division this
One
year.
and two. Um, I don't know. It's so I want to say the Bengals stay where they are because I feel like they're going up. But I could almost say Baltimore needs to go down or
Even at
stay.
even at 7-4 though, they are the division leader right now. This is
They
interesting.
are. It's just the way they've lost games recently,
Uh,
and I don't know. I say leave them there
I say let's put them on the end of the spectrum here.
because, yeah, I
They're
mean,
treading thin ice. How about that?
I think they could beat the Jets, but do you think they could beat Miami right now,
Oh,
or
that's a good question. And
or the Bills or the Bengals?
uh, if
I don't think they could.
if they have a lead in the fourth quarter, then we know they can't. But
They can't. So
man,
it's they're on thin ice. Let's
I
just say that.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So, well, there is our updated tier maker, and as we mentioned earlier, come week 16, we will be updating this, and come week 16, we'll be changing up the tier maker a little bit because we will most likely have some eliminations to talk about, which would automatically put them in the trash category. The playoff contenders will be the ones that are locked into the playoff spot. The meh will be the playoff contenders that haven't locked in yet, and the bleh will be the outside looking in, and it's not looking good for them when the time comes. So there you have it. There is our Week 12 progress report. And now it is time for this week's locks, upsets, and high rollers. And actually, Trajan's kind of excited to talk about this
We're back.
week. So I'll let you do the honors and pop up the scoreboard up above.
Boom.
Wrong side, but I'll take it. As you can see, he is slowly but surely crawling his way back into this. He's only down by 8. And so theoretically, he could catch up in a matter of 3 weeks. But slowly but surely, this is coming to fruition. Could be the comeback of the century. We shall start with our locks. And with my lock, we kind of brought up this game earlier. The fact that if the Patriots do end up winning this, then that could spell disaster for Buffalo. But I think this is the week Buffalo gets it right. And I'm locking them in over the New England Patriots.
I like that pick there. It should be good there. I am doing something risky. I'm doing something bold. I'm saying the Steelers will beat the Falcons.
Oh, it has begun.
Okay.
It has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing our own teams into things here. Oh, my goodness.
Take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank. All righty. Well, it hasn't been confirmed whether or not Deshaun Watson will actually start for the Cleveland Browns. But just for the meme potential in general, my upset this week, I'm going the Houston Texans over the Cleveland Browns. The Browns haven't been super great. The Texans, they're tanking, but I think they still feel a little bit of revenge in their hearts when they want to take care of business against Deshaun Watson. So give me Houston over Cleveland. Let's see how well this works out for me.
I hope you're right, but I just can't see it. All right, so my upset of the week, and this one, I just don't know about it. I really don't know if I'm going to be right on this one. But we'll just go with it anyways. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals over the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I think Joe Burr's streak against the Chiefs
continues. Okay. All right. Man, and I am so hungry for revenge from last year's AFC Championship game, and I hope the Chiefs are just as angry about that as I am, and I hope they just go into Paul Brown Stadium and just open up
I was going to say it ends at Cincy.
of whoop ass on those Cincinnati Bengals and make Joe Burr go burr crying back home to his mama.
I just don't know why that's not the Sunday night game. Just saying, it seems like that should be flexed, but oh well.
Did you see the Chiefs Broncos did get flexed from next Sunday night?
I did.
That's how bad the Broncos are. They're dragging us down with them now.
Let's be honest. No one wants to see another Broncos primetime game.
That's fair.
Hardly anyone wants to see a Steelers primetime game right now, but I imagine people would rather see a Steelers than a Broncos primetime.
I would tend to agree with that. All right. Well, for my high roller, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here too. I'm going to go with two division leaders. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're going to light up the scoreboard. There's some injuries on both sides, but I could see this one going like 40 to 37 or something like that, or 41-38. I could definitely see that out of these two teams.
Yeah, it could happen there. I just don't know with San Fran though. But I hope you're wrong. All right, my pick for the high rollers, and gosh, I'm very uncertain about this one as well, but my gut's saying it's right. I'm going to go with the Bills Patriots. I think this is going to be a game where they feel like they both must win, and I think it's going to go off the backs of their offense on this one.
That could very well happen. We'll see how effective the Patriots defense is against this high-flying Bills offense. So we're definitely a lot to look forward to on that one. So that's this week's Locks, Upsets, and High Rollers. Feel free to leave a comment down below of who you think is right, who you think is wrong, and who do you think? Who you got locked in this week? Who you think is going to be the big upset? We'd love to hear from you. As I mentioned, the Chiefs will be on the road taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. That will be a 3 o'clock game on Sunday. What's on line for the Steelers this week?
All right, so Steelers here. We got Atlanta. Like I said, it is a Sunday noon game, and it's going to be at the Falcons.
At the Falcons. All righty. Well, we saw some upside from the Falcons, but we also saw some upside from the Steelers after the game against Indianapolis. So some variables to account for there. Will the Kenny Pickett show finally or keep rolling along, or will Mariota and his dirty birds end up causing more pain and misery for Yinzer Nation? Only time will tell.
We beat Matt Ryan. We can beat his old team.
There you go. Absolutely. Alrighty, well, that is our show this week. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends, and we will see you all in the next episode.